Hello and welcome to the all-new Ricky Gervais show with me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington.
Alright.
You say, all new, Rick. In what way is this all new? I mean, it seems very similar. It's me and Karl. I suspect we're going to be talking bollocks.
I'll tell you what's new about it. This time you have to pay for it.
Well, that is a nice new development.
Yeah.
But what about within the content of the show? Any of the classic features, Monkey News?
Well, I think Karl retired Monkey News. I don't know why.
So that's been axed.
It's just that we'd sort of done it all. Do you know what I mean?
But will he be coming back in the future?
We might do something with it, yeah.
Good. I think there'll be a campaign, you know. If I know our listeners, and I don't want to, then they'll be doing an internet campaign now to bring back Monkey News.
I just want a quick question, because I'm a bit confused. Is this show 13, because we've just done 12, or is this show 1 of the all-new Ricky Gervais show? I didn't know where we are.
Show 1 of the all-new Ricky Gervais show.
Right.
Is it though?
What do you mean?
Well, that's like that question that I put to you about, say if like we do something wrong to this world, runs out of whatever we need. I don't know how it works.
You put yourself down. I think you do, and I think you.
No, just whatever the reason is. If it,
you are talking yourself out of a job with NASA, putting yourself down like that. I think you know exactly how the world works.
No. But you know, just like say if we had to go to another world,
right?
What year would it be?
Yeah.
I explained. I told you it depends, because it doesn't matter where you start, right? It depends what a year is. A year is a year because that's how long it takes our planet to go round our sun. A day is a day because that's how long it takes the world to revolve once.
I know, but you can't go to another world and then start changing everything, because people are going to be a bit unnervy about being on different soil. So
but
you
it's
can't
not their choice. You can't go to a planet and go, we've got to speed this planet up. It's not going through the space quickly enough.
Yeah, but everybody's, you know, like, especially older people, is set in the ways, right?
I don't think older people set in their ways are gonna pack their bags and go to Mars.
No, but if they have to. Anyway, that isn't the point. All I'm saying...
What, they're gonna be moaning about days are shorter here, or days are longer, aren't they?
Well, yeah, you know what they like.
But
Change.
old people don't care. They like short days. They don't get out of bed, do they, until late? They've got nothing to get up for, and they go to bed early.
Yeah, but it's not just that, is it?
What if it's a longer day, Steve?
Oh, nightmare.
That's your point, isn't it?
But I'm talking about stationery, diaries. Everything's going to be a mess.
Right.
So what do you do? If I was in charge,
go on.
I'd just say, yeah, carry on. It's 2007. It's September. It's a Thursday. Get on with it.
Brilliant.
I think because people
26 hours later, with a new day, and 480 days later, it's another year, 2008. I was trying to explain to him yesterday, in a cafe, about telescopes that can see back to the Big Bang.
Why did you do that?
Well, I was trying to explain what a light year was. Then I was explaining to him that, you know, you sit down, you put your telescope on, you're looking at a star, the star explodes. That star exploded 1 million years ago, and he couldn't have it. I was going, you're literally seeing it explode 1 million years ago, because that's how long the light got. And I started telling him that, you know, someone on another planet far, far away could be watching the 1980 World Cup final if they had a strong enough telescope, because that's how long it took to get. Look at his face. I can see his head bleeding.
I just don't. So are you saying?
Why did you start doing this in a cafe? Was it a 24-hour cafe? What were you thinking?
But are you saying then there could be an alien fella?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that just like we can see things happening in other on other planets, other solar systems, that happened millions of years ago, there could be a little alien fella with a telescope watching the Battle of Hastings if he was far enough away.
Do you understand the concept of what Ricky's saying, that light is travelling at a certain speed, which means it hasn't necessarily arrived here yet?
So we could all relive history, though, is what I mean.
No, we couldn't, because
but whiz backwards.
Well, no. One, you'd have to travel faster than the speed of light.
Yeah, I know, but say if we can do all that.
Well, that's the big thing. You can't.
No, I know, but, you know, it's only a matter of time, isn't it?
Why haven't we?
No, but we're not in a rush to do it, because we can just go back in time.
Well, but if time travel's possible, right, eventually, then it's already happened and they've come back.
Yeah, no, but what I mean is, it's one of those inventions that we're not in a rush to do, because...
No, what I'm saying is, if it's possible, then it will happen, and if it will happen, it has in the future.
Yeah, but we don't know about that yet, do we?
No, but you see my point?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not that great just because you're seeing that far, because there's nothing in the way. You're looking at nothing. Space is nothing. What are you looking at? They say. What do they say? I don't know.
If only you had a saying there at your fingertips.
What I mean is the universe, they say it's non-stop, there's no sides to it.
No, they don't say that. Scientists have never said that.
Heaven forbid. Now, Karl, I know you're fascinated by the concept of the doppelganger, of seeing someone who looks exactly like you.
Yeah.
Jake has emailed in, he says, Karl, if you could spend a day with an exact replica of you, okay, so somehow they've cloned you, Karl, and you've got him for one day, what would you do with this? What would you make him do? What conversation would you have with him? What would you do? Is there anything you could, how would you utilise him for one day?
Well, they'd both say, I'm not bothered, and that'd be the end of conversation.
What would do me head in is, does it think the same way, look the same way,
exactly the same?
Yeah.
How would I know which one I was?
Because you'd be you.
That's amazing.
No,
How would I know which one I was?
Incredible.
No, because
that is the most stupid thing ever said by a human being. Can we get the Guinness Book of Records on this? I mean, out there, listen, people, have you heard anything more stupid than how would I know which one I was? It's the most stupid thing any human being has ever said by definition.
But think about it, this other person's going, alright, thanks for meeting up and that. And I go, hang on a minute. No, you came to me. And then Suzanne would come home and she wouldn't know the difference. And then suddenly you'd start doubting yourself. And you go, should I be leaving? Or... So, how do I know if I am that real one, if he knows what I know?
But you know who you are because you're experiencing it.
But he'd be saying that because he'd say, yeah, it is a bit weird,
But you know the truth, you idiot.
How would I know which one I was?
So anyway...
But bear in mind,
what would you do?
You could pass him off as yourself.
What would you do? Would you play tricks? Would you,
You could be in two places at once.
Would you do stings? Would you do scams?
Like Jackass?
No, because it would only end up getting me into trouble, won't it? Because people won't believe that there's another one like me. Otherwise, everyone would be saying that when they get caught robbing. They go, oh, it wasn't me, it was me doppelganger. It can only... I wouldn't want it, to be honest. It's a bit of a headache, isn't it? Because he could be going off, going mental, causing all sorts of trouble, and you're going, well, you pack it in. And he's going, what? What are you on about? But then that wouldn't happen, would it? Because he's being me, so he'd be sat wherever I am anyway. Because he'd want to do what I want to do. So, pointless. But I still wouldn't want it.
It's unbelievable.
That was a conversation with himself.
That was amazing.
That was like experiencing what it would be like if there was two Karls.
Yeah,
he was having a discussion with himself.
We could have left in that time and come back, and he'd be arguing still. That is officially the most stupid thing. If the Guinness World Records, has anyone anywhere in the world said anything more stupid than how would I know which one was me?
But does this mean Does this mean though that I could just sit at home and not do anything and just send me out on...
Yes.
And when he's seen something happen, I'm seeing it.
No.
You're separate people.
You're separate people.
But then he's not a doppelganger then,
well,
is he?
you're identical twins then. You found out identical twins and he's got exactly the same input as you. I mean, it's not a real question, is it? It's just a little... Again...
But I said to you the other week about twins and that, how I wouldn't like to have a twin. It's alright when you're a kid, but unless you're a Siamese twin, even they don't even look alike, do they? Just stuck together. You don't go, oh, don't they look like each other? They have different haircuts. They don't carry that thing on, do they? That normal twins do. Like normal twins, the mums say have the same haircut, wear the same shirt. Siamese twins never look the same. They've just got their arse stuck together.
Again, it's a dialogue in his own head. It's unbelievable. Okay, we're trying to get more cerebral now in this podcast. There's a lot of science here, real science. Maybe we should call it a spodcast. Okay, Karl. This is a logical conundrum. To a certain extent, there's a little bit of lateral thinking because, but there is only one right answer. Now, the pressure here isn't to get this right because I don't know anyone who's ever got this right. The pressure is. One, asking sensible questions, and when I've told you the answer, to then understand it. Because when I've explained this to people, I've laid out for them, they still can't quite get the concept. Okay, so, there's 2 doors, Karl.
Yeah.
One leads to heaven,
Right.
one leads to hell.
Yeah.
Okay, they're identical, you can't tell them apart. Okay, 50-50.
Right.
Obviously you want to go to heaven, I assume. Right, there's 2 guards, identical guards, guarding each door. Okay?
Right.
The one guarding hell always tells a lie. The one guarding heaven always tells the truth. You have to ask one question to find out which is which, and then go through the door you want. What question do you ask?
I've only got one.
Yeah.
And what? One to both?
No, one to either of them. You don't know which one's which, though. So what question do you ask?
Why can't I ask, like, both of them one?
Because it's
Because
not
the rules are you can only ask one. There aren't actually 2 doors labelled heaven and hell, Karl. It's a leap of imagination here.
And I've definitely got to answer. I've got to ask them a question. I can't just sort of have a feel of the door to see if there's any heat or anything.
They're identical. You stand a few yards away, you cannot tell from the outside of these doors which is which. They're identical. The guards are identical, but the one guarding hell always tells a lie, and the one guarding heaven always tells the truth. What question do you ask?
I can't look through the keyhole or anything.
There's no
Can't get anywhere
keyhole.
near them. Let's imagine there's a small rope that prevents you from getting anywhere near, rather like outside a nightclub.
Yeah. What do you ask? What do you ask? What question do you ask? Come on, you only got one. Quick, this is it.
So, they stood there.
Yeah.
They both look the same. They're both smiling.
Yeah.
But one of them's not really smiling, really. He's trying to make me make a mistake, isn't he?
Well, he's just gonna lie when you ask him a question, if you ask him.
So what's the point in asking a question? Do I know one of them's going to lie?
Yeah, well, the one guarding hell always tells a lie, the one guarding heaven always tells the truth. These things you know.
But would they be neighbours like this? Would they be that close? Why?
I mean, we're not sure if these 2 guys get on.
I'll give you a clue. They know who they are, and they know that the one guarding hell always tells a lie, and the one guarding heaven always tells the truth.
So I know that.
No, they know it as well. Doesn't really come down to this, Karl. This isn't what's going to happen when you die.
But when is this useful then?
Because it's a logical... Well, I'll tell you the answer.
No, I want to see if he can get it. He's almost there. No, he's not almost there. What am I thinking?
But there's no shame in not getting it.
It's
There's
a
no
tricky
shame
one,
in not
yeah.
getting it. It's a really hard one to get. I mean, the shame is the ridiculous questions you asked. And now I'm going to tell you the answer.
No, hang on, right, so you go up and you
Yeah.
go, you
Right,
go,
hang on. Well, look, let's imagine that. Let's imagine Ricky and I are those 2 guys. Okay, right?
But we have to, well, me and Steve will decide which doors we're guarding, okay?
Right.
Look away, Carl.
Okay
Right,
then.
so we've decided. Okay, one of us is guarding hell and one of us is guarding heaven. Which question are you going to ask and who are you going to ask it to?
right, I'll just say to you, Steve, I'll go, got some post for God here.
That's not a question. That's a statement.
Right, you've got some posts for God here.
No, that's not a question.
Yeah, but maybe the
Alright,
question's coming. You got some posts for God here, yeah.
And it needs to be signed.
It's not a question. Still not a question.
No, let
So
him finish.
is God in? Because I need him to sign for this post. Is he in?
Well, I can answer that as well if you want.
Go on.
He's in. He's behind my door. Do you want to answer it?
Well,
Yes.
do you
he's in.
want to get him? Just,
Well, no, you only got one question.
So you're asking Steve, is God in? What's the answer?
Yes.
Ask me. Yes.
Look, lads, I'm just trying to do a job here. What am I going to do with this?
Well, give it to me and I'll give it to God because he's behind my door. Steve?
Yeah, give it to me and I'll take it into God because he's behind my door.
You're an idiot. It doesn't help. That doesn't help. Let me tell you the answer. You ask either one of us, you say, if I was to ask the other one what door he was guarding, what would he say? Then whatever they say is the door they're guarding. Because if you happen to ask the one guarding hell, right? I'm guarding hell, by the way. I'm the devil. Steve's God, okay? So you asked me what Steve would say if you asked him what door he was guarding, and I'm gonna lie. I know he'd say heaven, because he'd tell the truth, but I'm lying, so he'd say hell. So you know I'm guarding hell. If you ask Steve what door I was guarding, he'd tell the truth, right? So he'd say heaven, because he'd know I'd lie. So he's guarding heaven. So the question is, if I was to ask the other one what door he was guarding, what would he say? And whatever the person answers is the door they're guarding.
Steve, what door are you looking after?
Well,
Heaven.
yeah.
Why should I believe you?
Because you don't know. No, that doesn't work. Because you asked me the same, and I'd say heaven as well.
Right, so who do I believe? This is where you use your gut feeling, though, isn't it? This is what life's...
As opposed to the pure logic that Ricky's just used.
I just think, because there's a lot of questions in life where you don't know the answer, and you go, do you know what? I don't like the look of him. So...
They're identical.
Yeah, but they're still identical twins. You always get a little snidey one.
Oh, chimpanzee, that is written it down. What?
That's the jingle there for Karl's Diary. Still a very popular feature on show 1/13. Here we are. Got a book sent to me called Freaks. It's a bit heavy, but it's got some interesting pictures in it. Read a bit about the two-headed nightingale. She/they was on tour in London years and years ago. It cost 2 shillings to have a front row seat. She/they had 2 heads/2 arms and 4 legs. They are called Siamese twins because the first twins that were born stuck together were Siamese. On one of the pictures, they are playing chess against a doctor. That hardly seems fair.
2 heads are better than 1.
So it's 2 heads, 2 arms, and 4 legs. That's just 2 women in one dress.
Yeah, that's 2 women with an arm missing.
Yeah. Spoke to Ricky and his friend Glyn about art. I just don't get it. Ricky had some odd pictures on his walls. I don't have any pictures up in my flat because of the mirrored wall. But I can't say I'm bothered. The mirrored wall, we should just explain what that is. When you moved into your flat, there was an enormous mirror on one wall, was that right?
We just got this flat, and, you know, it's not a big flat, so I think the people who had it before us, he was a gay fella, right, which was a bit like, oh, so you've been doing with that mirror and that. But...
What?
No, just, you know...
What? What has he been doing with the mirror?
Well,
What's he been doing?
No, it's just because they're quite sort of experimental in it, aren't they? And
I don't know, what do you mean? What do they do?
Well, I wouldn't know anything about it, but go on.
No, what do you want? What?
no, I don't.
Experimental in what
What do
way?
you mean experimental?
I just mean, you know, they'd be doing stuff.
What?
Whatever they do.
Chemistry,
What?
have a chemistry set out, they were doing experiments, what?
No, just doing what...
Singing I Am What I Am and just checking out
No, each
the
to
dance
their own. I'm
moves.
not having a go at anyone, but
What?
I'm just saying, like, they're doing what they're doing, which
Carl, you're
is
not
annoying as
homophobic,
well.
are you?
Because-
You're not
no, I'm not. I'm
Well-
not. This is why.
Why are you worried about what a little gay fella was doing in your flat before you got it in front of a mirror?
I wasn't worried about it.
Why
I
are
mean,
you thinking about what he's doing? Why are you fantasising what a little gay fella was doing in front of your mirror in your...
I'm not bothered. I'm just telling you why it was a bit odd that he had a mirror in there, right? But forget the history.
But you've got a mirror in there now, haven't you?
No, because what I did was I was going to take it down, and I thought, oh, it's a bit dangerous. This, you know, it could crack and.
Because it's the
fall on
size
me.
of the whole wall, isn't it?
It took up a whole wall.
Right.
So like when he's moving about everywhere, he's got a good view of it and that. But he's got this full wall of mirror, and I thought I can't take that down. And I thought, what can I do? So I've just put wallpaper on it,
Brilliant.
and it looks all right. You wouldn't know, what have you? But it means that I can't put any pictures up. That's all I'm saying. Because if I put a nail in,
And what don't you understand about art? What about art don't you understand? The concept? Specifics?
just the way some people like, you know, the ones you've got where it's just like a block of colour on a bit of canvas. It's like, what's that? Just
Abstract. It's just abstract. It's, you know, it's vibrancy of colour. It's a, you know, an attack on the senses. Or it could be, there could be something in there that you might see. You might not see first time round, or it could be, you know.
Yeah, but there's loads of stuff to look at without having to do that.
But
You've
that's
got
the point of-
windows. I can understand if you had a cell and there's no windows and you want a bit of colour. But you've got
Oh,
a
yeah.
window to look out of, and you've got, like, just a big block of...
But I was
Colour on
explaining this to you, the photograph where people before, you know, the art was photography. It was realistic, and you know, they had to make it look like the subject. But then, when cameras came in, that's when people started doing surreal stuff. And
I understand that.
Otherwise, there was no point to it. They had to find a new way to represent things that photography couldn't do as such.
No, so that's like when we were in London having a shop around at Christmas, and there was that picture of fruit for 700 quid. It's like, well, just get some fruit. You know what I mean? You can get some real fruit for 3 quid.
Yeah.
I understand that, but there's nothing wrong with like having a. Don't invent cameras then, one or the other. Do you know what I mean? That's what annoys me. Someone invents something, and then they go, we've got to invent something else. Like the abstract thing. Why has someone gone, oh, I can't have paintings anymore because.
Was it a Dali? Going, melting clocks and stuff? No?
I mean, the first one was alright when he did the first clock, but then all the time he's just like, oh, I'll draw something and it's got a melting clock on it. I'll do a sheep, put one of them on it.
Have you seen his lobster telephone?
That annoys me.
Why?
Because it's not, I mean, I think what annoyed me more with that is when I heard about how it happened, he had some artist mate round, right? And, I don't know what happened, they were eating.
That's a hell of an anecdote.
No, but they were eating some food and what have you.
Yeah. Lobsters?
And, yeah. They were eating lobster,
right.
And
that's handy.
I don't know, the other artist, whoever it was, sort of started saying, "Oh, you and your clocks" and all that, right?
Brilliant.
And,
this didn't happen.
They started arguing, and he chucked some of the lobster.
Bollocks.
And it landed on the phone.
It bounced off his mate's head, went on the phone, and they both looked at each other like, "Are you thinking what I'm thinking?" And they brought out that phone as a bit of art. Things like that annoy me. Because it was them just messing about.
That didn't happen.
Just telling you what I know. I saw his work. Each to their own, if that's what he's doing. I'm just saying, I'm not putting my stamp of approval on it.
Heaven forbid. Well, you know, as you mentioned in your diary, your favourite artist is Lowry, because you can look at them for ages and see someone different every time you look at it.
All I'm saying is, art should be there to tell a story, not just to have a splash of colour. We know colour's out there. There's loads of colour. We don't need to be reminded of it.
But colour's part of our evolution, and so it does something to us. Just like sounds.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do a picture.
Smells.
Colour it in. Still use the colours, but draw something with it rather than just going, a bit of yellow, a bit of red. Like that when you've got just red and black. What's that meant to do?
Well, it does something.
What?
Well, I like it, I enjoy it, so it does something.
You have it then. I'm just saying, I'd prefer it if it was something.
And so let me just get straight, you had a mirror on one wall, so you padded that wall.
It's just
and
sort
you padded the others.
It's just sort of, wallpaper on it.
Right.
Amazing.
And there's no other art in there, it's just an empty cell.
Was Suzanne like some art? Just like, Suzanne's not allowed to watch telly unless it's a favourite thing, otherwise she's got to talk to me about stuff. There's no art, there's no point, just wallpaper.
I'm just saying, we've got three windows we can look out of.
Right.
Right? Stop looking at the walls, look out the window.
Some new words have been introduced into the dictionary. Too many words. We should have some system where we can get rid of words if they aren't used a certain number of times.
Well, that we do.
They do die out, don't they, eventually?
Like what?
You don't have to use them.
No, but they don't, do they? They keep adding them. And I just worry about, you know, this is the problem with, like, your head can only hold so much. Can't it?
Yeah.
It all very well when Adam and Eve was knocking about. There's no history, they don't have to remember anything. All I'm saying is, fine, bring out a new word, but once you bring out a new one, bin another one. The dictionary is getting bigger and bigger, no one's keeping an eye on it.
Well, I think they are.
They're not, they keep adding.
It doesn't grow. They don't just dig it up one day,
So-
it's got bigger. What have you done?
So
Left it out.
you're happy for them to stick in iPod, let's say.
But
you
we
know.
can pride ourselves on having more words in the English language than any other language. I think we've got twice as many as the second. I think maybe Russian. I'm not sure about that. I'm sure someone email us, but
we don't talk the most, so there's a lot of clutter there.
what do you mean we don't talk the most?
Well, you'd say
Nothing
that.
as expressive as the English language.
Yeah, no, because we've got a word for everything. I'm just saying that I don't use all these words that are coming out And I just think, like I say, keep an eye on it. Some sort of, I don't know how it can be controlled.
But Shakespeare invented words. I think Shakespeare invented about 1,200 words.
Yeah, and we're probably still using a lot of his. So why do we keep sticking more in the pot?
Right.
Stop using loads of words.
People are panicking in New York about the snow they're getting. It's 2 foot deep. They're saying it's to do with global warming. I don't get it. 2 days ago they were saying the world's getting warmer and the ice is melting on one of the poles where the polar bears are. As long as we get snow on the world, does it matter where it goes? Read on the internet that heads are bigger now than they were years ago. Brains are getting bigger, apparently. This is because we're being told too much information. We are told too much stuff about things that we wouldn't have known about years ago. You've just made that leap, haven't you? Maybe heads and brains are getting larger, but the fact that it's because there's too much information cramming in them, where have you got that from?
As time goes on, isn't it? It's that thing of, we're being taught more and more every day. As the time goes on, something's happening every day. You've got to remember that.
No, you haven't.
You have. It's the same, like I said, with the Adam and Eve thing. They didn't have that much to remember. They come on the world, they go, what happened yesterday? Oh, not much,
Well, in the all-new Ricky Gervais show, there is no monkey news as such. That's going to come back, Karl. You've got to bring that back. But we're going to do something that we used to do on our local radio show called Rockbusters. Sounds a bit like Blockbusters, a television programme that used to be on television where they gave sort of real cryptic clues. Yours aren't cryptic clues. Yours are ridiculous. So explain Rockbusters.
Give out an initial of a artist or a band.
Yeah.
Knocking about, like now or ages ago. And I give a cryptic clue.
It's not a cryptic clue. Very rarely cryptic. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's nonsense, but...
Well, as we once said, I think it is more accurately described a craptic clue.
Yeah.
Well...
Or what am I thinking?
Well, are you going to give an example, or will we just do them?
The classic example, of course, for me is a woman. She's an artist. The initials are WH. She was wandering around in Texas. She fell over. A part of her leg fell in a puddle. Wet knee, Houston.
That is the level.
That's what you're working with, people.
So he's going to give 3 of these. The first email that gets them all right, the first email we get, and it's timed, isn't it, email, so we can know, that gets all these clues exactly right, can win, what, a signed photo of Karl?
Now that is exclusive. There are not very many, I don't think they even exist, do they? There are no signed photos of Karl, so this will be a collector's item.
Right. So, yeah, there's 3 different ones. When you send it in on email, podcast@rickygervais.com, just put in the subject thing like Rockbusters so I know what I'm looking for.
Mm.
Right then, so three different clues for you to work on. First one.
Oh, shouldn't I do a jingle for this?
Please.
Okay. Oh, that sounds cryptic, no, fucking isn't!
Rockbusters.
Right, first one, the initial, right, is B.
The initial B, band
B,
or artist?
So, band or an artist beginning with the letter B.
Mm-hmm.
The cryptic clue, well, I don't want a house that's that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it. Right? That's the cryptic clue. Well, I don't want a house that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it. Right? B, artist or band. Who is it? Right? Work on that one. Second one, it's B again. B, letter B for the band or the artist.
Alright.
Cryptic clue, right? That part of my leg is English. Right?
That's it, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
That part of my leg is English. Initial B. What is it? Part of my leg is English. And then the last one, KW, artist or band. And the cryptic clue, the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment. What's going on there? Right, KW, the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment. Work on them, right? Send in the answers, podcast@rickygervais.com, and just win some Signed picture and that.
A signed picture of Karl Pilkington. Also, when you're sending in your answers, or indeed if you don't have the answers but you just want to get in touch, podcast@rickygervais.com. If you've got anything that you think might be of interest to Karl, we're looking for, as Ricky was giving him earlier, scientific facts, stories you've read about, anything which you think might just pique his interest, send them in, podcast@rickygervais.com.
Well, that's it. That's the end of the first episode of the all-new Ricky Gervais show.
Sounded very similar to the old one.
Yeah.
Why change a winning formula?
Why, exactly. And if you're missing the old ones, the complete archive of all our podcasts are available from next week.
Go to audible.com, find out how to get to it.
Absolutely.
For any of your queries and questions, go to rickygervais.com. That tells you where you need to go for any Ricky Gervais podcasts or the new shows. It's all there. That'll explain it.
So it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais. Goodbye from Steve Merchant.
Goodbye.
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Welcome to number 2 in this second series of the Ricky Gervais show. With me, Ricky Gervais. Hello. Stephen Merchant.
Hello.
And Karl Pilkington.
All right.
Well, I've been away. I had a little bit of an express tour of America, LA and New York, and they're all talking about one thing out there. Karl Pilkington.
Really?
Yeah. I hooked up with the Simpsons lot. They all listen to it on their iPods. I went down to the American office to keep an eye on, things.
Yeah, check it.
Well, as we get money for old rope for doing next to nothing, I thought I'd show them a face.
Yeah.
They're big fans, Karl. I met up with Jason Bateman, Arrested Development, and he knows how stupid you are. David Letterman knows what an idiot you are. Mentioned on the Letterman show. I mean, unbelievable. David Bowie listens. And they're all listening to little Karl Pilkington. When I think of people like that, like pretty much geniuses in their field.
Sure, yeah.
But when I think of Bowie listening to it, I still think of him as 26, dressed
he's dressed as Ziggy.
Yeah.
With a pair of those big 70s headphones.
Yeah, and he's going, "Hey, Mum, can you turn the TV down and listen to Pilkington?"
Yeah, absolutely.
I love his kooky outlook on life. And Christopher Guest. Now, Christopher Guest empathises with you a little bit, because obviously everyone else sort of knows how stupid you are and not understanding concepts like, the infinite amount of monkeys. But he empathises with that because he thinks that sometimes he thinks that he sometimes doesn't understand concepts that seem obvious to other people. However, I think he's being polite. I don't think you've got a lot in common with him, because he did all that other genius stuff. What you did was do the washing up with your pants pulled down slightly. It didn't have the same effect to say...
It's not been as influential as Spinal Tap.
Oh, waiting for Guffman!
No. I mean, unless people... maybe that's sweeping the nation now. Maybe if someone sees someone nude in a room opposite their house, they immediately get their cock out.
They go, genius. That's genius. Well, I did an appearance at the Oxonian Society in New York. It's a Princeton College run event, and they have, academics, artists, political figures. They have heads of industry. They had world leaders. They've had Princess Anne of Jordan, and there was a Q&A afterwards, and one of the questions was, is Monkey News coming back?
Yeah.
In that sort of forum. I mean, it's...
I believe they also asked that of Bill Clinton.
They did, yeah. Now, Karl, is Monkey News coming back?
I mean, maybe. It depends what goes on out there. It's going to be quiet, isn't it?
On the monkey front?
Yeah, that I don't know if they're aware or whatever that it's being covered, but it's just like, there's no point. You can't make news, can you? All these news channels, that's the problem with it. They've committed to saying we're a news channel. You got to find news. Well, don't do it like that.
Sure.
I'd say put something else on. If now what's going on
Cartoons.
in the world.
Is there often no news in the world? On the planet Earth with 6 billion people? Is there ever a day when they go, no, nothing?
But I'm just saying, the news is, what is it, about half an hour long?
Depends! There's news channels that are 24 hours. But yeah, you're thinking of one specific news programme that's on in your house.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's half an hour. How much of that?
No. You look again. You don't. I've told you that not all news programmes are half an hour by definition, but you go anyway. It's half an hour. Again, you didn't listen to me. Why do you think all news programmes are half an hour? They're not.
I'm just saying. How much of that do we actually need to know about?
But we don't need to know about any news. I mean, outside sort of dangerous situations, it's interesting. It's entertainment. People want to be aware. People want to be hooked up. I mean, I don't, watch the news much or read papers, but it's funny, when I'm away, I do. I suppose it's because you want to feel connected with what's yours. It's that feeling of being part of society, isn't it?
No, but there's places, say like there's places where they don't have telly, right? And they're not watching the news. They're still getting on with life.
Yes, they are.
And they're bogged down with their own problems, which is the way it should be. Say like at the moment I've got a leak in the bathroom, right?
Have you?
It's doing me head in. So I put the telly on to get away from all that, and you put the news on, they go, oh, there's a, bad weather in what's it? You go, oh, don't tell me that as well. I like it when you hear about inventions that are coming out, or, stuff they're doing in science.
But you told me the other day that you thought everything that needs to be invented has been invented. Something they said in 1900. But, so what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they are sort of playing around now. Like, they've said they've made, a heart now that can be bunged into a body if yours isn't working and keep you going.
But why is a heart that you can bung into someone to save their life, why is that a bad thing?
Just because it's another thing, innit? We're meant to die from the year dot. Things live, you have your bit, you knock about, and then you die. If you're going to live forever, how do you plan stuff? Right? That's the way I look at it.
Sure.
You sort of go...
How big would your diary be?
Well, that diary would become intimidating, wouldn't it?
This is what I'm saying.
You have to fill that in for the rest of eternity.
And you get bored. You get bored with living forever. And,
But I agree with you.
You get bored of people. You'd have to keep making new mates, wouldn't you? Because you've discussed everything by the time you're about 110.
110?
So it's kind of like...
Karl, you have the same concepts that you worked out and decided that were true at about 10, I think.
I look at life like a big book. Like a big book.
Right, okay, yeah.
Right? And, sometimes you get halfway through it and you go, even though I've been enjoying it, I've had enough. Give us another book.
No. Your metaphor, analogy, whatever you're trying to create there, falls down with let's have another book.
Yeah.
No. You can either opt out of life or stick with it till the end. You can't go, be someone else now. You can't do that. I know you think you can. And I think in your world you can, you possibly be injected into an old woman's head when you've had enough and you come out a little baby.
What I mean is, at the moment, my life, I'm going to live to 74, 75, right?
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I'm probably on page, what am I on? A book that's got about 200...
This is painful, Steve. This is really painful. Carry on.
I'm on, say if my book's got, 300 pages in it.
Yeah.
Few pictures and that.
It's a picture book. That's the great thing about Karl's life. It's a book for children.
It's a pop-up book. Yeah. And it just, every page he pops in, he goes, alright.
Alright.
I'm probably on page about 170.
Yeah.
He's gonna die at 74. He's reading a book with a few pictures in with 300 pages and he's on 170. Go on then.
So, right, if the book was too thick, right, and there was loads more pages
Let me tell you, this book is way too thick.
Yeah. If the book was more thick, yeah.
The book could not be thicker.
If there was loads more pages left, I'd go, I can't be bothered reading on.
Right. Okay, let him finish the analogy.
He must have known that when he saw the book.
We've got to finish this analogy, right. Otherwise we're going to be here all night.
Listen, he must have known how many pages there were when he got the book out of the library.
Yeah, but the way they write books, they're painting pictures more at the beginning, you're going, this is good. And then it gets a bit boring as it goes on, doesn't it?
Okay, well that works. So you're saying that you were young...
No, it doesn't work, because you just accepted that that's what all books are like.
No, but there's a little bit of poetry in that, because he's actually saying that, when he was young, his whole life was ahead of him, he couldn't wait the whole world, the promise that he was given of this world, and now he's a bit jaded and he's more cynical, and he realises that the world hasn't got as much to offer him as he thought it was. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Liar.
Well, Rick, you're not the only one who's been away. I know you've been off working, but I, at long last, have taken a bit of leisure time.
Go on.
And, you've probably heard of the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. Only one of the hottest, events in the world calendar. Yeah. Imagine me down there.
Oh,
Rio,
God.
You can imagine, did not know what hit it.
Oh, God almighty. Were you like, Paul the Party Animal Parker?
He would not have been able to keep up if he was with me.
God, what did you do? What did you get up to?
Oh, let me tell you right now. Day 1, I almost drowned. Day 2, I got a foot infection and spent the day in the hospital. And the rest of the time I had diarrhea. So that was a hell of a time.
Carnival.
Yeah, I did, I was able to watch some of the carnival on TV, and it looked brilliant. It looked amazing. I didn't actually, it was difficult to make out because the TV wasn't actually in my room. Because in an effort to save money, I wasn't staying in a hotel, I was staying with a bunch of other people in some kind of, like, someone's flat that they let out. And, so I had to watch the TV, like, from my window, watching a neighbour's TV. And of course, when they changed the channel, you know, often during the juicy bits, I couldn't see anything. And, but it looked really good. I'm bunged up at the moment just so I can get through the show. But I've just been on a 12-hour flight, and it is terrifying being on a flight when you know that any moment you could go. Because, you know how the problem is sometimes the toilet's free and sometimes you've got to queue up. And the worst bit is that sort of half an hour just before you land when they say the toilets are out of bounds now. I'd say I went twice before that in quick succession. The woman sat next to the toilet, she didn't know what was going on. The noises and stuff in there. And because I was really panicky. Oh, Christ. And so, of course, then on the whole flight, as we're landing, I'm really petrified because I'm thinking I packed a pair of underpants and jeans in my bag, in my holdall, just in case it all went. And I was really, because I hate flying anyway, and I hate landing because it's the most terrifying moment of the journey. Then it really was rumbling, and I was thinking, I gotta get out of here. Of course, you know when you're in a hurry, everything makes you angry. The little old lady in front of me who's just hobbling along off the gangplank, get out of my way! Yeah. You know, just really annoying.
With your bad hips and your bad legs.
Your Zimmer frame.
I know you've been through a war, but get out of my way!
Yeah. And just anyone who kind of even passes you, and so I managed to get there just in time, got into and it all went off. Man alive, it was grim. But that was not anything compared with the first couple of days, because the first day I went for a walk, and of course Ipanema Beach is famous. I mean, obviously The Girl from Ipanema, one of the most famous songs in the world, and Ipanema Beach is famous for just the beautiful, beautiful people that gather there, and it is extraordinary. I mean, the people are remarkable. There's so many beautiful women in Rio, it made me angry. I was angry that these women were so attractive and that, you know, none of them were even looking at me. So, but anyway, I'm on the beach because I was shopping and I needed a wee. Right, and we went for a quick impromptu swim, and I thought, we in the sea.
Just think of him on this beach, right, with diarrhea.
Well, I'm wearing great big long shorts, because I'm not going to try and compete with these boys, because they are...
And you are, could I say this, the whitest man I've ever met in my life. Yeah. I mean, with his shirt off, you can see his heart like a newborn fish.
Well, this is the thing. As I went into the sea to have a wee, there was a discussion about this.
As I went into the sea to have a wee?
Yeah. Well, I was desperate for a toilet, and I was shopping, so I thought, well, I'm never going to make it back to the hotel. So I'll go in the sea and have a little swim and
just I see him straining, just like a cat in a litter tray.
See, there was a discussion about this because I'm very much of the opinion that you should take your trunks down, and some people, some of my friends are saying, just do it in your trunks and let the sea just wash it away.
What a hell of a carnival!
And I think I'm against that. I've always been against that in swimming pools, everything, you know.
I'm against pissing in swimming pools. Full stop. It doesn't matter whether you take your trunks down or don't piss in the swimming pool. Sea?
Yeah, well, fine, yeah.
Fine, okay, right, fish do it,
so anyway, so I'm in the sea trying to urinate, and I kneeled, because I'm obviously very tall, so it's tricky to get deep enough for the water to mask what you're up to. So I tried to kneel down in the water, right, and I got John Thomas out, but then the water swept out again and just left me on the beach. But luckily my back was to everyone, so no one saw. I
can't think of a funnier sight than Steve Merchant on his knees with his little John Thomas out. I don't know how big it is, I've never seen it. But, I mean, I imagine it's in proportion to the rest of it, is it?
I wish. That's all I'll say is I've been a little shortchanged. But, so then I got up and I waded a bit deeper in, right? And, now I was trying, I got it out. But what I didn't realise is that the waves just off the beach are really just uncontrollable. You never know what's going to happen. So one minute they're calm, and the next minute they're crazy like a tsunami. So suddenly I see this giant wave coming towards me, crashing towards me, and I got the cock out and everything, and it grabs this wave, comes over me, and lifts me up, and flips me up in the water, right? And I'm floundering around. I can't see anything because, of course, I had to take my glasses off to go in the sea. Because I didn't want to lose them.
Oh God!
So I floundering around, and I'm genuinely getting scared because as I try to get into shore, the wave just pulls me back again. So I'm waving to my friends on the beach, but what I don't realise is that because I'm not wearing my glasses, I don't realise that I've been dragged along the beach some way, and I'm not actually waving to my friends. So there's like a bunch of these beautiful women on Ipanema Beach watching a pasty white man waving with his cock out. And what annoyed me was my friends were laughing. And that really angers me.
If I'd have been there, I would have burst.
But why wouldn't you have come running? Would you have come running in and help me?
Not with your knob out.
What? So even though I was screaming and shouting?
I would have thrown a rope or something, or a dinghy or something. There's no way I'd have. No, I couldn't have saved you with your glasses off and your knob out. If I ever save you, I want you to be fully dressed with your glasses on.
So you'd have just let me go. That would have been what you'd said to my parents. He had his knob out and his glasses off. There was no way I was gonna.
I can't think of a funnier sight. Oh. Oh, chimpanzee, that is raining down again!
Yeah, this is where we read extracts from Karl's diary. We've had to wrestle it from him. He's never happy, but, you know, that's the way it goes when you're doing, a show as popular as this. And I'm going straight now to this entry. My mum phoned and said that my Auntie Nora, classic Auntie Nora, wanted me to look on the internet to find out what the weather would be like in Spain at the end of November. I don't know where she gets her money from. 2 months ago, she was asking me dad how much it would be to get her back garden astroturfed because she's sick and tired of the grass getting out of hand.
What does she want to do? Start a football team? What does she want a back garden astroturf?
She likes the sort of green look, but she doesn't like the headache that comes with it, so she's just looking into getting that false grass put in there.
Brilliant.
Don't know how much it is. But.
Went round to Ricky's and had some chicken curry that Ricky's girlfriend Jane had made. Ricky and Jane were going on holiday for a few days and had arranged for Glyn to come in and make sure the cat was okay while they were away. I'm sick of that cat. I was surprised that they hadn't paid for the little shit to go away with them on first class. Blimey, getting a bit vitriolic in the diary.
Why doesn't he like the fact that I've got a cat and I love the cat? Why?
It's just everything in that house that you've got gets sort of special treatment, and it's a cat, and it
What do you mean you
annoys
get special treatment?
Sometimes
we put food down for it, and sometimes it gets on our lap and we stroke it.
You don't just stroke it, you massage it. You massage its back, you go, no, you're stressed out.
Well, no, it's good. No, I'm not saying you stressed out. At no point did I say you stressed out. You said, what the fuck are you doing for? Is it stressed out or something? I like touching my cat.
To be honest with you, I don't like Ricky's cat.
I can't believe
Because every time I go around there, it goes straight for my ghoulies.
Yeah,
instantly.
He'd probably seen you in the sea and thought, well, if he's waving it about, I'll have a bit of that.
But it's like the lizard thing you've got. It's just sat there. You've bought a big box, right, to be in.
Right, it's a salamander, right. So it's an amphibian. Yeah. It's not a box, it's a big vivarium.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
and
is...
And if you're gonna criticise someone for just sitting there, having a round head and doing nothing with its life, people who live in glass houses, we've done this one.
Do you know what gets me though, right, Steve? When I was there, I was looking at it, and I thought, is it dead? Right, because he's just sat there like...
And it was thinking exactly the same fucking thing.
Sat there, not moving, right? And then, on the top of the box, is like a box full of crickets and stuff. That's it. It's food,
yeah.
Right? But they were more active than the thing that it was going to feed. Get rid of the lizards, keep them in there. More entertaining. Don't understand it.
A few months back, a girl who was having a kid showed me one of them scans of the kid that was in her. That's science gone mad, innit? I couldn't think of anything nice to say, as it looked like a frog.
Do you know why we've got to that point? What? Why have we got to see something that young? Why?
Because people can keep an eye on the progress of the baby in the womb.
Yeah, but why are they printing it out and stuff? Surely that's for a doctor to see.
Well, that's just an added bonus for people who are interested in such things.
That's like saying, why do you take pictures of anything?
No, because normally pictures are like, you in Brazil, sat in the sea or whatever. You'd go, oh yeah, I remember that day, it was a good day or whatever. But...
It wasn't.
It's just kind of like, why have you got to see something... You might as well.
Listen, why have you got to see something that small? So why would you take a picture of Steve in the sea?
No, but what I mean is, why? At what point are we going to stop? Are we going to start sort of X-raying the fella's testicles and saying, well, there it is at a really young age? Well, where are we going to stop?
It's just horses for courses, isn't it? Some people like to have a record of their baby in the womb. They like to show their baby. They're excited about it.
They sit down and they show the friends the slideshow. That's the birth. Oh, that's the conception. Oh, look, Ron's going a bit mad there, isn't he?
But why do I need to see this? This is what I'm saying. It was an awkward situation because she was happy with it. I was like, oh, God. You know what I mean? It was an odd-looking thing. I couldn't say, oh, it looks like you, because that would be a diss.
Oh, Christ!
Met Suzanne at Euston Station. I said I would sort out the tea tonight, so I called the curry house. The fella couldn't understand me. I asked for 2 poppadoms. He kept saying, how many? I kept saying 2. He still couldn't understand. I said 1 more than 1. He understood. When we picked up the food and took it home, there were 5 poppadoms in the bag.
Oh, God! Oh, God.
There is a restaurant somewhere that sells knobs to eat.
No, there's not.
There is.
No, there's not.
No, there is.
It says that women can't eat too many of them, and if you want a seal's knob for dinner, you have to book in advance.
Right, it's gobbledygook. This is the ramblings of a madman again.
It's a trend, he writes. It won't last long. It'll be like hummus.
But hummus, when did that happen?
What do you mean it's still going? It's a Greek traditional food.
I know, but there's there's a restaurant down the road that's all they do. That isn't a proper meal. That's a side order, isn't it? That's like having a restaurant just flogging tomato ketchup. Hummus isn't a meal. They don't even try and kid you and get you in and flog you just hummus. They actually say it's hummus today. Not going to work. Be shut down within a month.
Called Ricky and asked what the difference is between the mind and the brain.
Yeah, he did.
That's a hell of a phone call to get.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Ricky did explain, but I can't remember what he said. I wondered at what age you are when the mind kicks in. Okay. Ricky changed the subject and said there is an island called Spider Island. There's nothing but spiders on it. A bloke went to visit the island and said there was 1,000 types of spider in one tree.
Yeah.
Excited by that?
I didn't tell you that.
No, I looked it up after talking to you.
Oh, right. Is that true?
Yeah, they just said there's loads of them.
What do you think about that? What do you think of an island that's just full of spiders?
It's a bit daft, isn't it?
What do you think they should do then?
I don't know, because you need spiders. I don't know what they do, but they say a world without spiders, like, wouldn't be good.
Who says that?
I don't know, someone. But they sort of do something. There's something about if you did get rid of them all, it would have an effect.
Well, of course it would. Get rid of anything, it'd have an effect.
Not everything, though. Like I've said, jellyfish and what have you.
Well, no.
The world wouldn't change.
Well, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, it would, because it's part of the ecosystem, so they're some things food, aren't they?
No, but it's 97% water or something.
Yeah.
So, how much are they doing? Just give them another 3%, make them water. That's more useful.
Give them another 3% and make them water. Oh, God.
The rain ain't stopped. The old woman with the bent neck. Now, we've not heard about the old woman with the bent neck before. She's a whole new character.
What's this? Incredible.
She's really old.
And she's got a bent neck, yeah, but tell us something else.
I don't know what's up with her, but her head sort of comes out of here.
It's radio. They can't see what you're doing.
It comes out of her chest. So from behind it looks like she hasn't got an head. It's really weird, right? I mean, she's old and I don't know what's happened. Just Suzanne said it's sad and her bones have sort of bent up or something, or maybe she carried something heavy when she was younger.
On her head.
And, I don't know, it's sad and everything.
Yeah.
But she's wandering up and down the street, always looks fed up, but you can see her, you have to sort of bend down a little bit. But her head's just, I thought I'd told you about it.
She finds a lot of change.
I said, yeah.
Well, as you write in the diary, the old woman with the bent neck is struggling in the weather. The rain must be running down her back. Don't know why she went out in this weather. Me back's doing me head in today. It does this every time the weather turns a bit grim, ever since I tried to kick me height. Oh, remember that? We've heard this before. Kicked me height and landed on me arse. Was going to treat Suzanne to a trip to the pictures to see Breakback Mountain, but then remembered there is a programme on about two-headed kid tonight.
What two-headed kid?
It's just a two-headed kid knocking about. And I just wanted to watch that.
What do you mean, a two-headed kid?
It was something on the telly. I only saw the beginning of it. I thought, it seems a bit heavy, this.
The programme about the kid with two heads was a bit sad. They never go into the good sides of these stories. I asked Suzanne what happens if they sit an exam. She said she didn't know.
So, Rockbusters, you gave out 3 clues last week. Have we got a winner?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this was the first person to email in, but you pointed something out, didn't you? That we're going to do it this week, the first person, but we think maybe it shouldn't be the first person because some people are up in the world when this comes up and some people aren't up in the world. So, we're just gonna pick one at random next week. So you've got the whole week, but we're gonna pick one at random. But this is the first one we got with all the right answers.
The
we
first
promised.
one with the right answers, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, give us the clues and the answers.
Right, so last week's clues, there was 3 of them. I'll give you initial of an artist or a band, and a cryptic clue.
Yeah.
You work it out, you email it in, you win a signed picture and that. First one was, well, I don't want a house that far away from the water. I want to be right on top of it.
Go on.
Right, so that was B.
Yeah.
That's, that was Beyonce. Beyonce. Like, it's like a cryptic thing. You got that? Second one.
I stand. Beyonce.
Beyonce.
That part of my leg is English. The initial was B. That was Britney. Right?
Britney.
Yeah, so it's like British. Britney.
But so you're just taking the one half of her name, are you now?
Well, she's known as that now. I think she's known
I don't
more
know
as
who she is, but fine.
More as Britney than
Okay.
Britney Spears. They don't really call her that anymore.
Yeah.
Also, British isn't the same as English.
Yeah, I know. I realised that, but it was too late.
Brilliant. That's what you're up against.
Just like that Only Wants to Be a Millionaire.
The last one was, the initials were KW.
Yeah.
And the clue was, the fitness teacher has got a speech impediment, right? So you've got to sort of think about that. You've got to think about a fitness teacher.
Yeah.
He's working out and that.
Yeah.
But he's got a speech impediment. So when it like comes to like finishing.
Well, no, you didn't say all this in the clue. So.
It was just that one was Kanye West. Right?
Kanye West?
So I'm just saying,
Why
like,
would the fitness teacher say Kanye West?
Because he's got a speech impediment and he's been working them out, they've built up a sweat and he's like, right.
Well, no, you didn't say all that, so it doesn't matter.
But anyway, even if that is the case, what is he saying?
He's saying, alright, can we rest now?
As in, can we rest now?
Yeah, just kind of, because they say that at the end, it's like, right, everybody.
So he's got a speech impediment, he's very, very camp, and he's adding words. Okay, but apart from that, it works perfectly.
So
that is bollocks, you're an idiot.
So that was the first 3.
Who won?
It was Gwymlyn Howe Jones.
Right, let me have a look at that name. There's no such name as Gwymlyn. What is Gwymlyn?
Is it something from Lord of the Rings?
Gwillem Hugh Jones. Okay, and a signed photo of us is on the way.
Yeah.
To him.
Lucky you.
I don't know why he wants that, but well done, he got the clue. I don't know if that's a good thing or not to get the clues, but there it is. Well, there you go. So we're going to do some clues for next week?
Yeah, right. Again, same sort of system. 3 of them email in, and we'll pick one at random. Right, first one. The initials RP.
Right.
Right. And the cryptic clue.
Not cryptic, well.
Steal that woman's flower. Right? If you're gonna like nick a.
Well, no, it's different now. What is it? If it's a cryptic clue,
let him finish it.
What is the clue? What is the clue and stick to it?
Steal that woman's flower.
Fine. Okay.
RP.
Right, okay.
Right. Second one. B.
Is that the clue or the initial?
B is the initial, right? And cryptic clue. Keep whacking the cooker with a stick. What is it? It's a band or an artist. They kept whacking the cooker with some sort of.
What is it? Keep
stick.
or kept? What's it? If it's a cryptic clue, everything matters. So.
It doesn't really. Just think about whacking.
Well, no. Give us the clue again. Okay.
Just whack the cooker.
No,
with
what is the clue? Do the clue. Okay, do the clue. This is the clue, and the only right. But no, wait. The initial is B, and the clue is.
Keep whacking the cooker with a stick.
Right, fine.
But it doesn't have to be a stick, though. It could be like an iron. It could be any sort of.
Well, okay then. Let's do the clue again. Okay, so the initials B. What's the clue?
Keep whacking the cooker.
Fine.
The last one, the initial M, and then the clue is Venice. It's all water, isn't it? Right. How would you describe it, right, when...
Oh, Jesus Christ. Is this the what?
Let him finish the clue! I want to go home, I haven't slept, I've just come back from Rio!
He might never finish the clue. It keeps going, it's full of water, right? Oh, well, you don't need a stick, do you? Use your hand if you want. Well, no, it's B. No. I mean, he might never finish.
Well, right. Not if you're going to interrupt him.
What's the initial?
M.
What's the clue?
Venice. It's all water. There's hardly any land, so how would you describe it?
Okay.
I think that sort of works. M is the artist or a band. Email in podcast@rickygervais.com and we'll pick one at random. Win some stuff.
Well, that's the end of episode 2 in this second series of the Ricky Gervais Show. So it's goodbye from me, Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant,
Oi!
and...
So I just want to explain why that's a greeting in Brazil.
Is it?
You see someone, hey!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't just a me.
Where's your knob out when you're shouting and waving
Yeah,
at me?
that's why I did it. You see what was going on.
I'm Karl Pilkington.
Right.